Greetings, Kamada. I'm sorry to pull you away from your leave. I know you'd rather be spending time with your fiancée in the officers' ball. Unfortunately for you, the Prussian Navy has other plans. Earlier this morning, our aerial recon planes had detected this large battle group from the Prussian Navy. We believe the intention of this fleet is to break out from our blockades that we had established in the North Seas and hit our shipping lanes from here to North America and Mediterranean and beyond. Commodore, I want you to take a battle group of your own and intercept this fleet. You will be commanding the cruiser wing, while the admiral that you'll be serving under with will take command of the battleship. I know he's a little bit of a glory hog. Make sure that nothing happens to him in that ship of his. Intercept this fleet immediately. That is all, Commodore. Any sighting of the enemy fleet, crewman? Negative, sir. No sighting as of yet. Keep an eye on them. They should be here. Aye, sir. Sir, one of our scout planes had detected the enemy fleet. I see. What is the composition? It says it's a standard battle group formation. 1 battleship, 9 frigates, 3 cruisers, and numerous aeroplanes. Very well, crewman. Inform the Admiralty that we had engaged the Prussian Navy at sector 564321. Copy that, sir. Message sent and received. Sir, we receive a message from the Admiralty. What is it, crewman? It says, good luck and good hunting and Godspeed. Very well, crewman. Signal the fleet to engage the enemy. Use standard broadside formation. I want to lure the enemy into a trap and remind them that this is Her Majesty seas. Aye, sir. Greetings, everyone. DeLeon Friends 60 here, and I'm doing a battle report. This time it'll be Dystopian Wars First Edition, the Spartan games era. And this is my first time playing this, and it's about time I pull this out of the shelves because they're collecting dust and I want to try them out. And here are my painted Prussians, and here are my painted Britannian Navy. So the mission is just a skirmish game. This is the first time we're playing this, so they might have some mistakes. So objective is just to sink the enemy fleet as a skirmish game. See how long this would last and learn the tech, how to play this game. So my opponent's gonna play the Prussians and I'll play the Britannians. So this is gonna be our deployment, and we'll enter turn 1. Alright, we just finished turn 1, and after reading the rules a bit and learning where the range bands and all that stuff, we traded blow. My cruiser damaged his frigates. His battleship was able to damage my cruiser over here. And most of our dice roll was just 1-1-1. The exception after that finally broke down to when I rolled for my cruisers. So the dice gods was not very pleased for both of us. So now we're gonna enter turn 2, and once they got even closer ranges, it's gonna be much more crazier. Well, turn 3 is here. First of all, I sunk one of his cruiser, and I damaged his battleship by 4 hull points. Before that, my frigates took out his frigates, and in retaliation, his battleship decided to take one of my middle cruisers. my first ships from this group got hit by the cruiser over there. Then in retaliation, the cruiser fought back and took out that cruiser. So it's just basically shooting at wrong range. And then my dive bomber decided to go attack them and the battleship, but they got wiped out by this AA. Now, for the end of the game, he lost the frigate force. I lost a token force of dive bombers, and we lost for these two ships. Like first, the frigates they lost first ships in their command. So I think we'll probably have to roll a break test. I still have to read up on that one. So I haven't got to the critical ratings because we're still trying to get used to this thing. But most of the ships I have don't need to have critical rating because they're so light. The torpedoes in the frigates are actually doing more damage to the bigger ships. So the British has this good torpedo thing for their ships. And the battleship over here, this already damaged his main battleship over there. So we're going to be entering turn 3 now, since turn 2 is over. So well, we just finished turn 3 and we're entering turn 4 already, and wow. My cruisers are still here. I finally took out his my battleship finally took out his battleship. My frigate force got taken out by his frigate, and my fighters decided to go on try to take on his fighters and engage it, but he used his fighters to fight back, and he ended up killing a bunch of them and leaving one of my fighters on its own. And before that, my bombers, actually, I didn't read the rules on the bombers, but they damaged one of his cruisers, and his AA fire destroyed one of them, and was able to drop the bombs for the cruiser. So I wiped out the cruiser force by my frigates, and my frigates over here are just now on its own. He has only one frigate force left over here that's intact. There's one more, and this bomber here. So we are this is getting close call, and his torpedo bombers are still here. So I'm kind of worried that he's gonna jump on me, so I have to get my AAs ready. So, and that bombers over there, they're not to be underestimated, so I have to keep an eye on them. So either get away from its firing range and just to get away from that for ability. So I think we're gonna declare turn 4 the final bit. Yeah, because it's getting late and there was no point. So one more round. This is the one last round we're gonna be playing. So this is turn 3 and entering turn 4 now. Turn 4 is over, and it's victory for the Britannians, but it's at a heavy cost. I pretty much wiped out the surface fleet, but he took out my battleship, and I wiped out his frigates. His frigates really killed my battleships on that full range, and they didn't even survive a hit. And in retaliation, the frigates over there fired at the rear frigate and destroyed the other one, and the torpedo bomber the middle one. And before that, the cruisers over here went in here and just take out the frontal frigates, and the one over here as well. So I pretty much just wiped out the fleet. My opponent wants to play one more turn, but aerial units versus naval ships at this time, it's really crazy. I'm probably just gonna evade him all the time, but luckily he might wipe out my fleet altogether. It's just gonna be an annihilation. So my aerial units are pretty much just gone. It's left for this one and this one over here. And these bombers are pretty effective. So, and except for the torpedo bomber, it wasn't deployed that much. Even if he attacked one of my cap ships in an early thing, I'm probably just gonna drive them away with my AA units. So I have a little bit more rules reading in here, but my this is it. This is the Spartan game era dystopian wars, and I'm glad I play this. I have extra more factions at home, like the Prussian aerial units, like blimps, and the Britannians, and the FSA, and the Blazing Suns, and Russian coalition and the French Republic, and the Antarctica Covenant of Antarctica. Those guys who are responsible for releasing this technology in the colonial expansion, and this was the result of their hubris and their mistake for being such an open-minded people. They thought everybody was gonna be fine and dandy, and eventually they used it. Some guy stole their technology and used it for everybody else for their power. So that's why we have this dystopian war story. So this is DeLeon Francis 60 here. Another battle report. Finish, and happy wargaming, everybody.
Sir, we sunk the enemy's surface fleet, but we suffered numerous casualties along the way. I can see that, crewman. Any word from the Admiral? Negative, sir. All hands aboard the flagship is lost. Very well. Signal the fleet to pull away from the combat zone immediately. And pick up any survivors we come across. Tell the same thing to our remaining aerial escorts. And inform the ACA crews to double the watch. I suspect the enemies will attack us from the air when we pull out from the combat zone. Aye, sir.
Well done, Commodore. You managed to stop the Prussian Empire from assaulting our supply lines and show the Prussian Navy that the Britannian Navy is superior in the sea. Their ships are now in the bottom of the North Sea. For you, you had done very well. Unfortunately, the Admiral's ship in the battleship was destroyed during the engagement. But don't blame yourself with this, Commodore. This is war. The Admiralty heard of your exploit and your command quick decisions. You are to be immediately promoted to full admiral. We're gonna need your expertise in the coming months and take over what remains of the battle group under your command and reform it under your own wing. We want you to establish dominance in the North Seas, Admiral. Her Majesty expects the best from her men, and I expect you to give the same. That is all.